Hello, Akshay sir. Warm welcome on this platform. Really, I'm so glad we are there. And as I know, you serve to nations since many years. But what we can serve our nations? I was thinking on that. And one day I was listening on podcast, and podcaster told that if you're unable to serve physically, if you're unable to serve with money, then there are many ways you can serve our nation. You ask yourself where you feel more and so complicated. Then I thought that now the area is the English communication, the language of the English communication. I suffer a lot. After that, I learned what is the English communication, what is the English language, and why not provide the awareness in the society. They have misconception of English communication. Still, they are not taking step. They think about the shortcut. They think that English is so big to us. They are suffering. And if they get little bit awareness, if they take step of my effort, then it will be good for me and good for society. And this is my intention. Started this platform. Now, once again, a very warm welcome. Akshay sir, I want to know your background and you have to give me some very nutshell your introductions.
So thank you so much, sir. So I am get the pleasure because I am here, sir. So it is a pride to me. And first of all, sir, my name is Akshay Kumar Baral from Cuttack, Odisha. So my education background is I have completed graduation at in 1987, and then I completed a B.Ed. So thereafter, I have joined in the army, and I got the chance to serve the nation for the 28 years. So after the retirement, so now I am working as a logistic head in a corporate sector. And since the 8 years, I am in my corporate working field. So as you ask me regarding the English communication, so my education background, I am started from the vernacular language. So basically, I'm from the rural, sir. And as you know, the rural area is not that much developed as we see, or my education was as it was the 35 years back. So at that time, that type of privilege was there in the rural areas, sir.
Then when you feel
So
that
that
English,
time,
when you feel that English is compulsory for you, and in this age, many people they never think about the learning anything. Now you are learning, you are improving, you are also speaking very fluent. Then when you think and how you learn.
so yes, definitely I can say that this concept was raised at the time of when I was serving in the army. So I have impressed by my boss. So whenever he going to this speak and fluently with the higher authority, so I have noticed many times. So since that, so I have go for the newspapers and you can say for news magazines. And whenever I got the time in the army, so at that time I go for the library and read all the things. So gradually I developed some concepts regarding the vocabulary and all the things. So that time I promised that so I will be the fluent speaker one day. So that's why since that, so I have started my journey. So whenever retired and I got the chance in corporate sector, so at that time I faced many things. So whenever I meeting with my colleagues, meeting with my boss, so at that time I faced a lot regarding the communication. So I was not fluent in English, but at that time I promised that I committed myself that so I'll be a fluent speaker. So I'll do that. Now I'm the age of the 56, but that type of learning, you can say curiosity, quest, I created in my mind. So then I'll go for the you can say book reading for newspaper and daily broadcast. yeah, news air, daily news air, and there is app in mobile news air. So daily news you can, hourly news, evening, middle, everything you can find. So sometimes I go for the pictures, English pictures. Then I able to the how I use the ancient accents, vocabulary, and sentences. So all the things I daily basis created a curiosity in my mind. Whenever I focus on these process, and I will take the teeny steps every day, and that time I feel so very enthusiastic, and I feel the proud and feel the confidence. Yes, I can speak. Then that curiosity have a raised daily basis. Then I'll go for the book reading, and how I could complete a book within a 1 week. That technique I also the from the get the from the platform uh,
Yes,
YouTube
yes,
platform.
yes. I can
So
understand.
in
I
this,
can understand.
yeah,
One
yeah,
more
yeah.
thing, I am observing that you are so enthusiastic person because in this age you are learning English communication. Then you ever feel that grammar is mandatory for English language?
So yes, I can say
If
that
you want to speak, then it's mandatory to learn during the learning.
yes, grammar is mandatory whenever you go for the writing format. So as you are working in a MNC company or government sector, whatever may be. So I am telling about the myself. So I am in a corporate sector. So whenever I writing a mail to the other or my boss, so that time minimum etiquette you should be maintained in the grammar in or the language format. So unless until you should not know about the structure of the sentence, so you cannot convey your message to your the subordinates. You cannot pass your message to your boss, or you cannot pass your message to other organizations. So that is the mandatory. But whenever you go for the speaking English, that is not mandatory. How you could communicate your feeling to the others, that is your communication. And vocabulary is mandatory, I think.
Right,
And it
right.
is tremendously help you to get the fluency in your the speaking or communication.
Vocabulary is the heart of the English communication. If you have more vocabulary, then you can speak better. And one more thing, I observing because I am inviting to many peoples, and they when many are they more than 50 years. They have served the sessions. They're having the very important post in a government sector as well as private sector. But they are facing difficulty in English communication. They told that we hadn't focused in initial day. No, now we are suffering. Due to that, now we are learning English communication. Because nowadays, English communication is just so compulsory. Everywhere, people using communication mode English. Then if you want to align with them, then you have to know how can I reply them. And really, these things important because era is changing. Youths are collecting the different kinds of informations. Until you don't know English communication, English language, then how can I reward them? Because our entire technical content, informational content for another country, you are receiving in mode of the English. And you are having a post, then if you don't know English, then how can reply them? Even you know very well, but you are unable to speak due to lack of the practice, then it's so complicated to reply them. In India, you can reply in Hindi or another language, but out of the India, because as a multinational company, as a corporate sector, various types of client out of the India. Then if you have reply them and until don't know English, then how can I reply them? And for regarding that, you have to know English language. At least easily you can convey, very simple way you can convey them. And everywhere, if you go and the people ask, how many language you know? The English is a priority basis. They're asking you, are you know English language? Even if you are hiring the multitasking staff, sweepers, in their resume, they're asking that, are you know English communication? Because my guest, my client, if they not understood, if you are not understood what they asking, then it will be difficult for them. And because of that, English is necessary part in our life. If you want to do something as a businessman, if you are participating in a meeting, then all documents you observe that in English. Until you don't know how can watch, how can read, how can reply, then how can convey our message? This is a very crucial part in this era. Many people, many students, they are underestimate the power of English communication, power of English language. My vision is that provide awareness in the society, spread the messages in the society. At least before suffer, you have to learn because this is one skill. Due to English communication, due to English language, you can grasp the opportunity. Before opportunity arrive, you have to be ready. Then you can grasp the opportunity. Because many are there in India learning English language. Somewhere they feel that English is compulsory. And due to that, they feel hesitations, they feel criticism, they feel fear because they hadn't focused in initial day. They hadn't focused their educational time. The reason is that now they're suffering. But it's not big task. My next question to you, sir, how many days, how many months you had taken for this step up, stage of fluency?
Sir, yes, sir. I think this journey I have started since 2022, and still I am learning all the things. So whenever I think learning process is starts, as you know, it starts from the womb of the mother and end at the buried. So there is no time limit for the learning. So three things you have kept your mind before you go for the learning. So you should maintain the discipline. So you have the accepting process, means everything you have accept from the others. That may be you're the senior, that may be your junior, that may be you are the classmates, whatever may be. Everywhere you can learn the English and you can open your heart. You should not maintain the shyness. So let's say example, I have no meaning regarding the is or are. So you should ask frankly to the you're the juniors. Please tell me what is the meaning. Or you can find it, Google it from the anywhere. So that concept, whenever you are taking your mind or in your, you can say in your view, so then you can learn all the things and then go for the practice. Along with your the reading and listening the podcast, you should practice English daily basis. You should practice your colleagues with your colleagues, your practice at the workplace, your practice with your at your home. And you, if you, it is possible, you should create the environment with your the family. And you should talk with your the spouse, you should talk with your the child. Then you can develop, whenever you connect with the English learning, and gradually you can develop. These are the processing things. These are the tiny things. So every day you can spend 1 or 2 or 3 hours as possible in your part.
Right,
So
sir.
nobody will be stoppable. Nobody can stop you
Right,
to
right,
achieve the communication or fluency.
right, sir.
So if yes, that thing I
Really,
have maintained.
you mentioned that the process is a very mandatory part in the any area because without process you can't get rhythm, and until you can't get rhythm, then you never will get momentum because the step start very gradually improvement. If you working every day, if you dedicated persons, in your area where you want to improve, then you have to focus your environment. You have to focus your process. You have to understand what is your need. Accordingly, you will improve. Until you don't know the importance of language, then you are unable to focus that much as per requirement. Now, really, I invited many people. They have also replied similar answers because the region is same, the process is same, but mankind want quick result because human innate nature is that without effort they want more. And until you are not do the effort, until you are not follow the process, how possible you can accomplish any goal? Because our universal law saying that if you want something, then you have to first give, and after that you have to take. Gifts means your time, your effort, your dedications, your punctuality. After that, you can get anything. Really, so beautiful conversation, sir. And I am inviting like that many peoples, and I collecting the data, collecting the opinions. How can learn English? How can break the misconceptions? How can kill the agitation? How can eliminate the fear? How avoid the criticism? Because these are the enemy in our English learning process. And if you want to add something, then please add, sir.
Thank you so much. So, lot of things you have explained. So, you have given the right message to the youth that yes, English is not a critical thing, not a such a big thing which could not concur on that. Yes, English learning can be possible in each and every part if you take the bold action daily basis. You take the curiosity to know the English, and you will focus on the processing part, like reading the newspaper, reading the autobiography, listening the news, listening the audio biography, or you can say listening the podcast or TEDx video. Everything you learn and bring it into the practice, and daily basis you maintain the practice. Then you can easily conquer on the English. So you may be vernacular language, you may be for in English medium. So that is doesn't matter. So
Right, sir.
if you have known doesn't know the English, but you can say win the on the English, and you can communicate in a very fluent manner. So what we feel or experienced in our part. So because I am from the vernacular language, so that's why I can feel that yes, it is possible. So everybody can learn the English, speak the English, consume the English. So it is easy for all.
Right, sir.
So
Right.
this from one side, sir.
Yes, sir. Right, right. I am also observing that age and background couldn't barrier in our path. If you have promise, if you have rigid belief that I will learn, then you can learn. Thank you, sir,
Yes, sir.
providing the
Thank
very
you.
valuable information for youth and our society. And I am also inviting like you peoples provide some feedback, some technique, how they can easily learn English. Because in the life, shortcut never exist. Then you have to learn, follow the process because language learning is lifetime process. Then don't think that if you learn few months, then you will become fluent because this is a language and this is never ending process. But until you are waiting for shortcut, you can take a step and you have to improve ourselves, break the misconceptions, overcome the fear, and after few months, you realize that now you are right path and you are speaking fluently. Nothing impossible in life if have known the process of success. Thank you, sir, really being the part of the sessions. I am so happy, so glad if for inviting to you. and you are provided very valuable information for our society.
It is my pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste, sir. Namaste.